Hello, and welcome back to another live stream with me, the Ranger George. So, I was considering what to do today because I was actually a little bit delayed. I'm currently doing this stream much later than intended. However, I'm here now, and I was considering exactly which sort of what to do to begin the stream, because part of me is I want to have a few things I want to discuss, and I normally leave it to the end, and I do it to the end because I think it's better to have more people arrive, etc., and then discuss it toward the end of the stream. But I felt that actually it might be interesting to start with that and then get into whatever game I decide to play on whatever particular day I decide to play it, and so on and so on. So I've actually got a few things. Hey, how you doing, haha? How you doing? I actually got a few things I wanted to talk about today because there has been some big news. So the first thing, which I think is pretty important, is they released a bunch of new Assassin's Creed footage. I don't even know where. I'd assume it's through some creator program or something for people that are signed up to that. I don't know if I want to sign up to that because I do feel like that sort of thing is slightly compromising. Maybe it's not at all. Could be eating my words here. But I feel that it's compromising in the sense that you therefore have an incentive to be positive because you don't want to be taken out of such a system. And I do not want to feel like I am forced to be positive about something that I don't feel positive about, right? But anyway, I was thinking after that I could either go into some World of Warcraft Classic, just enjoy that. I've been considering reinstalling Elder Scrolls Online as well. It's still something I'm very much considering, or doing Assassin's Creed 3, continuing with that. I do want to continue with it regardless. If I didn't do Assassin's Creed 3 today, I would do it tomorrow. My main reasoning is that I thought, well, I'm most likely not going to be doing too much Assassin's Creed today because I've got some other stuff I need to do and I can't be staying up till midnight doing that. But I did think, therefore, playing a game that I can sort of hop on and off might be a little bit easier today, just because today things have gone on a bit later than intended. A couple bits of GTA 6 news too, if you're interested. That could be interesting too to discuss. I am quite curious. GTA 6 adjacent news. Yeah, okay, well, you know what? Let me know about that, and let's talk about that too. I want to have an interesting discussion about this today. So the first thing I want to... There was actually loads of things I didn't get to share last time that I had planned to share, So I'm going to go over to this scene, and then, yep, this is already set up exactly as I intended. I did realize, by the way, so... Weirdly, hang on one moment. My window tab there, yeah, it's cut. It's fine. It's completely fine. Okay, so let's have a look. So I did like these tweets just so I could bear in mind what it was. One thing I noticed, and I don't want to call somebody out because it feels a little bit unfair. Because I don't want to criticize people. I don't know if what would you say this is a fair criticism, right? So I saw all this footage, and this account happened to come up. So I've seen all this footage already. It's all across Twitter. There's loads of stuff coming up, and then I saw this footage by this Twitter account. Content creator, apparently they have 1 million subscribers, which is cool. But I realized they'd put their tag in the bottom part of the screen, and from what I understand, I can guess this is footage that was released by Ubisoft for creators through their program. So loads and loads of different creators have it. It's released for them to basically be like, yeah, you can use this in your videos. But they haven't done anything to this footage. It's just literally re-uploaded the footage, but put their watermark on it. Probably just to get clout if the clip is shared. I get that that's the reason. I just think for me that's something personally I wouldn't do. Because it's a bit more of a debate if it's an exclusive to you. You've made an agreement with the company, it's taken you ages to get it, and now you're sharing it with everyone. But if it's the case that every creator has been shared this, and it's not really an exclusive, and you've just whacked a watermark on something you didn't even make. In fact, it was given to you as sort of a kindness. Well, as part of the promotion in a sense. But they're not obliged to give it to anyone. I just felt like it's slightly unfair to whack a watermark on it for clout, as you say. I don't know. I just felt that I've seen loads of other people sharing it without the watermark, is what I'm saying, and I think it's sort of trying to get clout from something like that you haven't. It's not even that there's like commentary or anything. It's just literally re-uploading the exact clip and then whacking a watermark on it, isn't it? There's no effort at all, really. But anyway, not that there needs to be effort. It was just something I noticed, and I felt like it's like if you want to use this footage that you don't even own, that that loads of people have been given, you have to now include this, or you find one of the countless other creators. I don't want to be critical. I just felt like interesting. And I felt like I don't want to be mean to this person because, you know, it could be, I don't know the situation. Maybe they were sent it first and they thought, right, whack the watermark on it, and then everyone else got it. I don't know. But how much of the new gameplay snippets for Black Flag? I've looked at a bit. I've looked at this, of course, and I've looked at a bunch of other things that I believe I have liked, just so I'm aware of where it is. So, yeah, there's loads of stuff here that I was keeping track of. So I thought it might be fun just to watch it. So there's a 4-minute one somewhere in here. I don't know where. I just liked a bunch in relatively random order. I think just everything that came up. But I saw a clip on YouTube as well. Oh, it's YouTube. That's where it is. One moment. Let me open it up on YouTube. I'm just going to do this because, you know, I don't know what I've been looking at. No, I don't think I've been looking at anything. But I do not want to just open that up. Okay, yeah, here it is. This is it. This is what I saw initially. This was recommended to me. Which I assumedly this YouTuber, it's the exact same footage but without the watermark, actually. So, here we go. So you can see, oh, look at that. My video's been recommended there. So you should go watch that. I want to open up this. There you go. And I'm going to hide this. So this is the footage. This is all the brand new Assassin's Creed Black Flag stuff that looks pretty cool. It does look cool. I have saved watching the entire thing. I saw this video, thought, right, gonna watch that on stream. So I'm gonna watch this now. I'm gonna react to it basically for the first time, share what I think. So let's see what things we can notice from this. It is slightly loud. So parkour looks great. I said this before in the reveal. That looks great, that jump there. This is a bit more of a cool view of it. It looks like it performs really well. It depends what they're using for this. See, there's a detection there. That's letting you know which direction you're being detected from. Continuing, yep, you can slide around the poles, looks good. Visually, it looks amazing. The way the armor is moving looks amazing. The jumping is really cool. Going between the trees looks cool there. The animations look... That is still in the... Right, apparently you can minimize this. Are we sure about the FPS? It looks really good. The FPS looks like it's performing. I don't know. The problem is all these creators seemingly have not... All gameplay is recorded and edited by myself. I don't think this person has recorded this because I've seen this exact footage. But could be. Maybe he did record this, but I don't think it is. Anyway, so this is... maybe that could just be like a leftover thing in the description. But anyway, it does look like it's performing really well. Like, depending on what system they're using, if this is actual gameplay, it looks really good. Like, you know, it's not like a tech demo, you know. The parkour looks a lot better now. They've sorted that mini delay seen in shadows when stringing parkour sequences together. It's a small change. See, I'm not sure about this mini delay. If you have a clip of that, send it over and we'll compare. But I'm going to trust you with that mini delay because I didn't play shadows. I just wasn't particularly interested. But I'm very curious. I'm very curious about that. I sort of think after I've played this, maybe it'd be fun to go back over those ones that I just kind of missed. Because I don't know. I heard of issues to do with them. But if there was a delay, great that it's gone. All I'm saying is that compared to my last experience playing Assassin's Creed, it looks way cooler. Still don't like that, but apparently you can disable that. Blood. No, there's blood. Pretty cool blood effect there. Again, it's got that kind of Assassin's Creed insta-kill thing going on, which I do like. That is brutal assassinations as well. I also notice that he's using a different armor set there. Correct? He is using a different armor set. That's the final armor set, no? The black armor set, the best one, basically, no? Or is it slightly different? Tiny delay before jumping gaps, that's very annoying. Just watch the original gameplay reveal for this remake. I'll have a look again. I'll have to pay attention again. Just like little delay. So what you jump and it's like tiny bit of a glitch and then you... if they fix that, that's great. I assume. Sneaking looks really good. The lighting, that lighting looks amazing, by the way. Look at that. Very cool. Still very good. I do like the detection. That's cool. There's a little arrow. Parkour is looking really good. It's still not quite the level of Unity. That's still how I feel. It's good. Ooh. So you can mark enemies? That's interesting. Interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about the marking enemies thing. I feel like you should just remember, but it's not a big deal. That's cool. Jumping back again, jumping on there, yeah. I feel like, because in Unity you could kind of like jump and spin a bit. It's not a graphics junk. I'm not a graphics junkie by any means, but these visuals are genuinely incredible. They're amazing. It looks really cool, doesn't it? Like, it just looks like a... It looks like a... as it should, like a pirate game, as it always has, but it looks even more like a pirate game. I hope we get some cool details like rainwater forming puddles and change. That would be awesome. If they have that, I would... I don't know if they will, but if they do, that is awesome. If there is puddles that they can... Yeah, they could... Maybe if they incorporate that. This is cool. Different armor set again. So you avoid that. I don't like, I know I've said it 100 times, but I do not like that, that like red thing. I get that it's to give you like a signifier, but I think it should be a bit like, I don't know, Dark Souls-y, where you just, you can turn it off. I heard you can turn it off, and I will immediately be turning all of that off. I would rather just learn the timings, I think. Oh, so that is social stealth a little bit, but it's sort of distracting them with money. That's cool. Love that armor, by the way. Love that jump is oh, and you can just jump into a dive. Isn't that great? Oh, you put an X post. Good comparison clip for the parkour. Okay, let's watch that after this. Let's watch that. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna go back a little bit. I'm gonna watch that immediately. How do I load this up? One moment. Let me work this out real quick. I think if I load up Twitch on here, and then I can click that link straight away. Let's have a look at it. I can hear myself. Look at that. Okay, I'm loading it back up, and then I go back to here. Then I'm going to open this one, and then I'm going to hide this one. Okay. So, here we go. Oh, I already like this. This was something I was planning to look at. So here we go. This is the difference. So world reveal, this was a few days ago. This is now. Ah, is it that little sort of... Hang on. I see. It's like slightly slower. It's like dun, 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 whereas this one is more like dun, dun, dun. It's a bit more of a sort of like a faster jump, basically. So it's less like a kind of dun, 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 whereas this one is like dun, 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 dun. It's like slightly slower. I get it. It is it's small, but it's so noticeable when you true. It makes it just a bit more streamlined and fast, I suppose. But I don't know. I mean, I get why you would have this because you do have to slightly land, right? But I guess it's more like a streamline, kind of almost running across as opposed to each individual pole. Yeah, I get it. It does. It looks good. I think yeah, maybe it's yeah, that's better. I think just anything more fluid is good, right? Was my main gripe with the gameplay. Oh, so that's great that they fixed that. I think for me, it is, yeah, it's good they fixed that, actually. I was going to say, like, it's not a big... But it is kind of a big deal, because if the whole part of the game is parkour, you want to have parkour, you know? Of course, like, good parkour. This is awesome. Look at that. You see the flamingo there? Is it a flamingo? It looked like a flamingo. It must be a flamingo, right? Look at it. But it looks whatever it is, looks cool. Underwater is amazing. Look at like the color under there, you know. The little water effects coming off him while he's swimming. Really cool. Look at that. That splash effect was maybe slightly too much, but it's fine. It's such a minor thing. And the lens water, I feel like you can maybe disable that. Hopefully, but I still like it. The jump into the underwater is very cool. Also confirms, yeah, free underwater exploration, you're right. which wasn't. Yeah, true. It's completely changed, and it looks really cool. I like. Oh, they've killed enough British soldiers. They're going for the Spaniards. I like that. I like the grapple pull and assassination. That's a cool way of like kind of getting enemies. I can imagine, because we're playing 3 at the moment, right? And you have to whistle to get them over and stuff. It's cool that there's like this other way of doing that, which is a little bit more kind of unique. I love this kind of... Look at this. This is so cool. Boom. Landed there. Look at that. Oh, look. His hood just came... You see that? His hood's off. I don't know why. I just realized then. Look at that. Hood's up. Did he manually do that, or was that from going inside to outside? You can only do that with the dive. So now it's just anywhere. Any water body you can dive into. That's really cool. Any body of water, sorry. That's very cool. If he takes off the hood again, maybe you can toggle it? Okay, the hood is off here. I don't know if there is a toggle or not. There hasn't been any... Oh, he just did it then. But is that because he's sitting down? Or is it because he toggled it? It's confirmed manual toggle. It's up on the deep... Oh, that's really good. That's really good. It's like the Witcher 3 HUD mod. I do like that. Because that was such an annoying thing in the... You couldn't have it up, basically, ever. Unless you were, like, sneaking, right? And, look at that. You could just put it up, and you're in social stealth there. I wonder if it will automatically go up when you enter stealth situations still. But I don't think it needs to, you know? Maybe it gives you a little boost. That'd be cool. So you gotta... I always like the blow darts in these games. It was always fun. Very cool thing. So that's the one that makes him go crazy, isn't it? The sort of berserk dart. I like that. Oh, is that all of it? There's a trick if you want to get rid of this. Where is it? There? Whoops. What's that? Oh, it didn't work. Normally that would... Oh, I could just... Let's see. Hang on. Let's go back a little bit. I missed that. I was trying to turn that off. So, yep, you can jump into the palm leaves there. That's cool. Just look at the fidelity on that. I always think when I've seen this, like, look at his hair. That hair is like some of the realest hair I've seen in the game. It used to be automatic. Yeah, yeah, that was it, wasn't it? It was so annoying. I remember when playing that, it was kind of like, I wish I could just do it when I want. And it is great that that's now a thing. That's like a very good quality of life improvement. Because people like the RP element. That blood is cool. This looks fun. Oh, I like the gun there. Oh, that was cool. Whoa, you can do loads of combos with the gun. Look at this. Bum. Next gun. Bum. Bum. Oh. That is really cool. Oh, and then we've got a UK politics video there. Well, that looks cool. Is there anything else? I did like a bunch of stuff on Twitter, so there may well be even more. I think so far, great improvements there. Helmet thing. The hat thing is amazing. That's exactly what you want to see. This may have been the footage just looked at. It is exactly the same footage. This is, yeah, social stealth. Yep, seen that. Bench blending, higher dancers, crowd blending, money distraction. Yeah, we saw that. Parkour has been improved for speed and fluidity. Edward now gets a short speed boost when mantling after a wall run. God, I feel like I'm not great at the mantling there. GTA 6 news. Yeah, we'll have a look at that in a moment. There's a couple more things, and it might summarize all the additions that maybe I missed. Oh, we didn't identify. Got to say, the highlights when hiding are very subtle and faint, which I think is good. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, oh, here we go. Ubisoft confirmed that you can toggle the hood on and off, yeah. Okay, cool. So that's basically that. I think there's an article here by PC Gamer which probably also just like reveals literally everything. So let's just quickly see what the update is here. So combat will be more demanding than the original. It looks pretty easy and fun, to be honest. I mean, just with the gun stuff. I mean, it looks more like you can do more, but it doesn't look hard. You know, you still get the insta-kills. But Ubisoft has revealed modernized movement combat systems that says it will honor the foundations of the original game while enhancing the experience for an action-adventure game. Ubisoft has released the first of what it says will be a series of deep dive articles into the upcoming Assassin's Creed Black Flag resynced, serving up a close look at the smooth new moves pirate assassin Edward Kenway will employ as he murders his way across the Caribbean during the golden age of piracy. Parkour, stealth, and combat in Black Flag Resynced have all been, you guessed it, rebuilt from the ground up to take advantage of advancements made in the series over the 13 years since the original Black Flag debuted. Creative director Paul Fu said the intent is to honor the foundations of the original game while enhancing the experience. Is this like the actual video? What is this? It's unlisted. Interesting. Anyway. Okay. Anyway, much of what's been revealed in the showcase is what you'd expect from a remake of. There's a showcase as well. Is that? I'm assuming this is the. Oh, there's like been a big old post here. No. Decline. Okay, I have to. Fine. Take my data. Oh, so this is where they all got it from. I see. This is literally everything we just watched, but we saw it edited together before. Okay, I see. Okay, Fenway's, I think Kenway's, movement will be, they need an editor on here, will be snappier and more deliberate. For instance, while the observe feature included in Assassin's Creed Shadows will enable him to more, I don't know if I like that, but to more easily find clues and objectives and to tag it. I don't like the tagging thing, but it's fine, it's a minor thing. Tailing and eavesdropping have been improved so missions won't fail if you lose track of your target. I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of liked that there was a level of difficulty to eavesdropping and stuff. I feel like, not that you should fail, maybe you can catch up and stuff, but I still think it's cool that you have to keep up with them, But the update also digs into takedowns, environmental combat, and new advanced attacks, and warns that combat in Resynced is more demanding than before, as enemies will adapt to your behavior, especially if you fall into predictable patterns. For example, wait around too much for a parry, and enemies will react by performing unstoppable attacks that can't be parried. That's cool. Fu said, abuse a kick too much and enemies will start to dodge them. The trick is to alternate between offense and defense, varying your combos, or just polygon on them. Rotate between kicks, so on. Loads of try different things, get them confused. That's cool. I wouldn't say that charging into a camp in broad daylight and loudly perforating a bunch of guys strikes me as the acme of professional assassination, but dead is dead, I suppose. Okay, there you go. Okay, so and then basically this, it's just they're explaining exactly what they're doing in each bit. I'll have a read of this. I think tailing in itself wasn't a huge problem. It was the frequency of those missions, which, yeah, true. If they could, yeah, again, if they've still kept the frequency, but they made it easier, I guess it's not a big deal, right? But it's still kind of like, yeah, you don't want to do too much of that sort of thing. But anyway, so they've got this stuff. They're talking about the game stuff. All the footage is work in progress. Make sure to watch 4K, sure. Hang on. HUD settings may vary depending on the capture to showcase example of customizable options. In case you're wondering, all HUD elements can be individually hidden as that's cool, right? You can even play with nothing activated, so no compass, no anything. That's cool. And the insta fail state of them is just dated in. Yeah, I get it. I do get it. I think, yeah, just having you like fail because you missed is annoying. It'd be cool, like The Witcher 3, right? If you lose track of someone, you can still like try and find them again. But anyway, parkour and core movement. Parkour remains at the heart. Yep, okay. So core movement. Our intent was to keep Edward's responsive movement from the original, make it snappy and more deliberate. Whether you're jumping across the colourful rooftops of Havana, the wild, yeah, cool. So one thing that we worked on a lot and iterated with feedback we received early on from community members during playtests was to nail the responsiveness and pace of Edward. So they've basically made that micro delay go, haven't they? Which we talked about. So landing animations refined, Edward recovers more quickly from a drop. This removes any sense of stumbling or heaviness, keeps the movement feeling smooth and continuous. So jumping from one spot to the other is also more responsive. So they've improved the micro lag. The landing is interesting. We sort of talked about all the other stuff, but not when he lands. I wasn't really paying attention. So what happens when he lands? I believe it's around here, isn't it, when he starts to go down? So yeah, he lands there and he can just immediately run. There's a slight delay when he lands, but that's cool. I do like it. That's cool. Yeah, we'd watch this, but yeah. So they've when mantling after, I don't really know what that means. Is it like when you sort of attach on? Edward will have a short speed boost that allows him to keep the pace of his run. So if he does a wall run, he'll land. I think they mean like kind of landing after a wall run, and you can continue to go. Okay. Keep the pace of his run despite slightly recovering. You can also roll upon hitting the ground to maintain a sprinting pace. That's really cool, which ends up being very useful during chase missions. So that's cool. You can land and roll and just continue running. That's cool. In cities, familiar features like the corner swing and lifts return. We've also included brand new zip lines. That's cool. It's like Syndicate, isn't it? Scattered across the cities that Edward will visit, connecting you from high to low ground over a longer distance and a much faster pace. So, continuing. So, advanced parkour returns. The advanced parkour option available in the original Black Flag are back, but with all the modern tech and latest updates to the Anvil engine. Okay. Advanced parkour untethers Edward's full traversal skill set, enables a deeper deal of control, making side ejects and back ejects possible from virtually any height, including non-targeted jumps into the void. With this system active, you can use parkour down to trigger more precise side eject behavior, while parkour up continue. Okay, what? I'm getting slightly confused by this language. So basically, you can eject more precisely and decide where you want to jump to. So jump, 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 side eject, boom. Yeah, okay, I get it. They made that better. That's cool. So, okay, and we have a manual jump that reinforces control and decision-making, something we know is heavily discussed amongst players. Manual jump offers more direct control over traversal, allowing you to take shortcuts and increase velocity while parkouring for us. So you can, it's not automatically just jumping you have to actually click the button, I'd assume. So here, assumedly they're clicking everything, it's not just automatically doing it, which is cool, and the music is great, by the way. So stealth, we already talked about this, the observe feature. He can crouch any time, so whenever he wants, it's not just like automatic. I think this is something we already knew. He also has a bunch of tools at his disposal. Blowpipe, sleep dart, berserk, that was already in the game, we know this. Smoke bomb, yep, already aware. Rope dart, it's returned, it wasn't, yep. Did they do anything? And to make the rope dart a much more strategic item for Ed, he'll be able to get his hands on it much earlier. Sequence 3 versus Sequence 11, so it is going to be happening much earlier. Yeah, the weather effects are cool too. They are really cool. So you can take his hood on and off, we talked about this, whenever he wants. Edward's social stealth mechanics in urban centers. Edward can exploit the dense urban environments of the Caribbean Golden Age of piracy to outmaneuver and evade enemies through a refined set of social stealth. Yeah, well, we've talked about this. They can go to crowds. He can hire NPCs by throwing gold on the floor. He can blend into crowds. He can throw money. Hire. Oh, you can just literally hire them, I see. Combat. So, okay. So they've changed the combat a bit. Core gameplay loop. Combat loop is hidden blade takedown. Yeah, breaking enemy's defense with multiple attacks trigger hidden blade takedown. Perfect parry takedowns trigger. Yeah, that's the same in all the games basically. Wall takedown. Kick an enemy into a wall to initiate. That's cool. And then ground takedown. Grounded enemies, yep, you can just take them down straight away. So it's pretty much what we've already seen. So yeah, parry, takedown. Takedown immediately, because it's a chain. It's like a chain takedown, basically. They did not show the hidden blade takedown, I noticed, but it's fine. Environmental combat. Environments can have a big effect on fights. Ledges allow fatal kicks. Tight corridors are ideal spaces for chain takedowns. Powder kegs can be blown up to drop enemies from a ground takedown. Walls are killing surfaces which allow Edward to perform wall takedowns after a well-placed kick. There's pole puts that we want at each fight. That's cool. That's really cool. That is cool. Advanced attacks. He has a new dodge attack which causes additional damage if executed with precise timing as a perfect dodge attack. The heavy attack is another new advanced move to add to his combat kit. Performed by holding the attack button, the heavy attack provides the highest damage, suitable against advanced foes, but takes a moment, so it's basically just a big attack. Rapier, cutlass, pistol sword. Heavy strikes, more damaging, can pierce through foes. Heavy strikes cover a wide area, and then pistol sword is 2 damaging shots are fired. And then he can focus the fire on one enemy. So he basically shoot 2 of them. Well, 1 enemy twice or 2 different enemies. Okay. Adaptive enemies. Yeah, we already read this. They're going to adapt. Advanced enemy archetypes and how to deal with them. So soldiers coordinate the attacks. Okay. So not all enemies are made equal, and each requires different tools, tactics, shot. Advanced archetypes such as the Brute Captain and the new Demolitionist pack a punch and are harder to take down than your average soldier. They will deny chain takedowns, that's interesting, if they have defense, so Edward will need to use his flintlock to break defense between chain takedowns. This maneuver was inspired by fan-made combat videos from the original Black Flag. Not only this, but these archetypes have also have high defense and will more often employ unblockable attacks, making parry opportunities rarer and forcing you to find other strategies like dodges and combos to deal with them. So yeah, several tools. Yep, rope dart. Yep, take them down. Sweep. Yeah, we saw this clip before. So a quick shot from the pistol instantly breaks the guard of any advanced archetype, so you can just shoot them and break their guard immediately with a gun. That makes sense, to be honest, because it is a gun. The iconic gun kata also returns, allowing Edward to kill multiple enemies in quick. I do like that. And that's what they've got for today. So that's basically everything we've looked at. It does look amazing. Like, the armor sets look awesome. Look at that. Love it. Love that. Just looks fun. The gun stuff is fun. Like, boom, 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 boom. Just infinite bullets. Seemingly. Looks cool. Yeah, all the takedowns. It looks great. It looks real great. I think the environment looks great. The quality looks great. He avoided that, shoots him, breaks his defense, then takedown with the hidden blade takedown there. Rope dart, and then kick him over. There's a kick, and then stab him, takedown. I think you're going to get some really cool combos in this, and I think the combat is going to feel very fluid. I think it's going to be relatively easy, but it's kind of cool because obviously in the real world, if you stab a sword through someone's chest, they should just die, you know. So it's better than just having them slowly, go down even if you've stabbed them in the face. So it's kind of cool. It would be cool if you had a mode where it's the same for Edward. If they get like a sword through you, you're done. It's because he had 4 pistols. So, I see. So when he gets fully upgraded, he's got 4 shots because 4 pistols. He's just whacking him out. True, actually. Are they on his side? Oh, look, we can see there. Side. Yeah, true. That's cool. So that would be like the end of the game, basically, or toward the end when you've got all of them. Because here he seemingly only has 2. And to be fair, in this clip, he is using the sort of some of the endgame armor, right? Pretty much. Well, I can only see 2 though. Like 1, 2. Where are the other 2? Are they on his front, possibly? Maybe they're on his front. Maybe they're on his front. Very possibly. Yeah, so I think that is pretty much everything. Oh, there's this little clip as well, which came out yesterday.
The combat system has been entirely reworked into an action-oriented experience.
I think it's basically what we just read, though, right? Dual swords. I think we've already seen this exact clip before, so...
Every move now plays a specific role with faster, more fluid attacks and combos.
Yeah, we've already seen this. Looks good. Basically combos and stuff. Which titles are you hoping they remake next? Another one's confirmed in the works by Insider. Personally, I'm hoping it's 3. I actually agree with Assassin's Creed 3. I was saying this on stream before. I really do think it's the one that I would personally do next. I mean, I would love Assassin's Creed 1 and Prince of Persia if they could do that, but mainly because it's the Kenway Saga, it makes sense to continue with the Kenway Saga. The only thing that would put me against it is they did just do a remaster. Not a remake, but a remaster of Assassin's Creed 3, and I feel like 1 has not had work in such a long time. It would be really cool to see what they do with 1. But again, it is kind of weird to like bring up this remake of 4, then just completely forget the Kenway Saga for a bit, go back and do 1, 2, 3. But the other reason I would go back and do that is because if they remake 3, they would probably have to cut all the Desmond stuff, I would say, because otherwise it's like, for people that are coming to play 3 for the first time after 4, for like the Kenway Saga, right? It would be really weird. It would be better to have it as a chronology and have it like you're just telling the past story. You have 4's past story. That's like the first in the new trilogy, let's say, the remake trilogy. Then 3, then like Rogue or something like that. And you could incorporate some of the other... It'd be cool to have a Rogue game where they incorporate the expansions that were taken from 4, because Adewale is relatively important in Rogue. You could start with him as well and then go into... my God, what's his name? Sean? Oh God, what is his name again? I think it's Shane, isn't it? McCormack. Shane McCormack? Sean McCormack. Shane McCormack. I think Shane. God, I've forgotten his name. 2 front, 2 side. I see. Yeah, so I think 3 would be better as well. I agree. I did do a bit of an annoying Sean. How you doing? How you doing? I do think it is... Oh God, what's his name? I think it's Sean? Seamus. What's his name? Assassin's Creed Rogue. Seamus? Shay. Shay. I was getting confused because I was like, hang on, it's not. I was completely. God, that was annoying. Okay, Shay, not Sean. Shay. There you go. Thanks, Lewis. Bill. Could well be Bill. Bootstrap Bill, you know. But yeah, that's what we've got on Assassin's Creed. We should also talk about GTA 6, as Haha was mentioning. And I do want to say there was a couple things I didn't get to talk about yesterday that I was going to be bringing up, but I basically did not have the time because I got very tired. There's loads of stuff. So the first thing is this. There have been... So Shane Sean, it was like, oh, it's close, wasn't it? It was almost there. But the first thing I wanted to bring up again is they are apparently going to be having a remake of the Dark Souls trilogy, which is interesting because they already remade Dark Souls 1 relatively recently. It might be that they're going to Dark Souls 2 now. I don't know. And I'm not sure where this rumor has even come from. Because, I don't know. Where would it have come from, you know? I have absolutely no idea. But it says, game leaks and rumors, removed by moderator. That's wonderful. Let's read an article then. So, it's apparently a leaker. Yet again, don't know how true that is. There's one from 2 hours ago. Let's read the latest one. They probably have catalogued everything across it all. I mean, God, I hope so. But I am curious about if they're going to do a Dark Souls remake because they've remade one already. But according to Insider Shirako, a complete remake of all 3 Dark Souls games may be in the works. The claim is based on information from what he describes as a reliable source, one that has previously shared accurate leaks. While this doesn't guarantee that the report is true, it does add a level of credibility that has sparked widespread discussion among fans. I'm going to be honest, not sure who this is, and I'm not sure why people are trusting him. Or her. Dark Souls 2 is peak. Someone else said recently in the chat that they love Dark Souls 2 the most. Will not work on Bloodborne unless Sony... They're not doing it because Sony owns the IP. Dark Souls Trilogy remake in development, a reputable source from My Mirror reports. I don't know what he means by My Mirror. That's a terminology I'm not aware of. But if the rumor provides accurate, the project would involve remaking all 3 entries in the series, Dark Souls, then 2, then 3. I don't know about that because they've already remade Dark Souls 1. I don't really see how it would be that much better unless, you know, because it looks pretty much like the modern equivalent of Dark Souls 1, you know, already. I mean, I played it on stream and it was just like modern version. I don't know how it would be better. But okay, are widely regarded as some of the most influential action RPGs of the last decade, shaping the now popular Souls-like genre. I mean, it's literally Dark Souls, you know. So unlike simple remasters, a full remake would suggest significant upgrades. This could include modern graphics, animations, combat, potentially even redesigned levels and mechanics. I mean, they did it basically already. But given how much game development technology has evolved since the original releases, the idea of experiencing Dark Souls with current generation visuals and smoother gameplay is an exciting prospect for many players. At the same time, such a project would raise important questions. One of the defining features of the Dark Souls series is its atmosphere, its deliberate pacing, environmental storytelling, and challenging design. Any remake would need... Yeah, true. There is also a question of timing, as now there is no information when the rumoured remakes could be released. From Software is currently known to be working on other projects and large-scale remakes of this scope, yeah. But they might hire another studio. There was that studio that was closed recently, awfully, but they did the Demon Souls remake, which was really cool. But another factor to consider is how the studio has approached similar projects in the past. While From Software itself is not typically focused on remakes, other companies have successfully reimagined classic titles, so there you go. So, for example, the remake of Demon Souls showed how beloved Souls could be brought into the modern hardware while maintaining its core. Who did that again? I've forgotten. But yeah, the idea of revisiting would be awesome. The possibility has been enough to re-excite excitement around the franchise. I would love to have a remake of it, but I think making a remake of like Dark Souls 1, which they kind of already did, is very unnecessary. 2 and 3, there's an argument, but again, I don't think those games have aged to the extent that they warrant remakes. That's just my opinion. I think the only reason they would do it is for some sort of monetary reason, basically, because 3 is still like basically a modern game. 2, maybe a little bit could do with it, and then 1 has already been remade. So to me, I feel like unnecessary. Of course, it's always fun to see these remakes happening because the games we all love, and we get to see it with a new coat of paint and slightly more modern. But at the same time, sometimes I think there's sometimes too many remakes. I'd rather them make a new Elden Ring game or work on something a little bit more. I don't know. Make another Dark Souls. Do something like that. Make a new level. Make a new area we can explore. Don't just keep making the same stuff. Especially when it's not necessarily like going to be that significantly different or better. But in line with other remakes, another thing which I was going to discuss, which I don't, it must be in my list here, is that they're going to be remaking Halo 2 and 3, which I don't know if you guys play Halo. I know it's a little bit out of the typical fantasy RPGs I play, but I do love the campaigns for Halo, and I think they're very well done. I did do Halo Reach on stream maybe a year ago or something, and I've obviously played it when I was younger too, and I really enjoyed all the Halos, basically. I mean, Infinite has a great multiplayer. Campaign is, again, 4 campaign was actually good, I thought. 5, terrible. But the original 3 are amazing, and they're remaking Halo 1, which is confirmed, and that's going to release relatively soon, I think. But apparently they're going to do 2 and 3, which I am very positive about, because they did already do a remake of Halo 2, which was actually quite good, in my opinion. The remake of Halo 2. It's sort of like a remaster, but they did actually make new assets, and they had this interesting Switch feature. But full remakes, cutscenes, if they do it by Blur Studios, would be great. I'd be very, very happy to see Halo 2, and especially 3, because 3 did not get its 10-year anniversary remake that every other Halo game, well, 1 and 2 before had, and I was always disappointed with that, and I kind of get why, because 3 was still looked pretty good, but I think by now it does deserve a remake. And 1 and 2 didn't get like proper remakes, like full remakes. So I would be happy to see like a full-on Halo remake, especially because they're going to be bringing it to PlayStation. But apparently, as this article claims and others, Halo 2 and 3 are definitely happening and are in active development for remakes. That's according to Rebs Gaming, who revealed in an update over the weekend that 2 more sources have confirmed Halo Studios is developing remakes of 2 and 3. One of my news sources sent me proof to verify themselves and that the trilogy remakes are definitely happening, regardless of how well Campaign Evolved does. More specifically, active development is underway on all 3 remakes, and the Halo 2 and 3 remakes are in early development. The 3-minute report is embedded below. So this is a YouTube video that we can watch and see what this fella is saying, if it decides to load.
What's up, everyone? This is
Right.
Rebs.
What's he saying?
And
What's he saying?
Birds. This is
Right,
my third
right.
and final video report of the week, and I
Okay,
saved
okay.
the best for last.
Let's hear
It's
it.
short and sweet, and nothing but positivity.
Okay.
So let's dive right into it. In a previous video report, I revealed that a former Halo Studios developer confirmed to me that the studio is remaking the Halo trilogy.
Okay.
Since then, I've received confirmation from
Surprisingly,
2
no
more
NDA.
sources that Halo Studios is developing remakes of Halo 2 and Halo 3. One of my new sources sent me proof to verify themselves and that the trilogy remakes are definitely happening, regardless of how well Campaign Evolved does.
I gotta say,
More specifically,
I get why,
active development
but
is
so
underway
many
on
of these
all
rumors
3
are from like a
remakes,
source
and
I
Halo
can't
2 and
reveal,
3 remakes
which is
are in
it's
early
always annoying.
development.
But of
The
course
other
they can't
person I
reveal, you
spoke
know.
to, who is the source of my Campaign Evolved report and sent me an unreleased video clip of
Oh,
Campaign
the same source
of
as
my
Campaign Revolved. Is that evolved before it came out?
Campaign
Prequel
Evolved
missions and reused assets. They're gonna prequel. That's
report
cool.
and sent me an unreleased video clip of Campaign Evolved to verify
Okay.
themselves. Also confirms that these remakes are in early development. As I
Well,
revealed
the thing
in
with
the
early
report,
development
this
is
person
it's never
informed
guaranteed.
me that the prequel missions include brutes.
I love Halo.
Something
I think
have
Halo's
not
story
mentioned
is
before
really
is
cool. Look at
they
that.
told
That's
me
the Blur
we will notice
cutscenes.
things from
Great
Halo
game
2
series,
and
great
3
story.
in the prequel missions, such as brutes, because of the upcoming
Really
remakes.
good. I think honestly, if I had to
Also,
choose though, as
another
much as I
person
love
sent me a few
Master Chief's
details
story,
about
I
the
I
brutes
really
in
like
Campaign Evolved.
Reach
They
most
were not
for me.
able to send me
Great
proof
story.
to verify.
Just the team
so
slowly
please
falling
treat
apart.
The following information as
It's
a
great.
rumor.
There's like I'm more of a
Allegedly,
fantasy than
their
sci-fi
design
guy,
is
but Halo
inspired
has a
by
sort of
Halo
special
Reach concept art, and their
area in
weapons
my heart.
include the brute plasma rifle and the spiker.
It's just a
Lastly,
really
we had
well
the
done
brutes
series.
appear in the original missions with one of the new skulls.
Music is great
now
as
that
well.
we have confirmation for the Halo trilogy remakes,
It's like almost to
Halo's
me like a kind of
future is
fantasy
shaping
in
up to be
space. That's
very
honestly how
entertaining.
Halo feels
Besides, from the
sometimes.
remakes, a new
The aliens
multiplayer
as well. It's
project,
kind of like different
which was
races.
confirmed by Halo Studios job
So Halo
listing,
trilogy
and the
remakes, multiplayer
developers
project,
LinkedIn
next mainline
post,
game.
and the
I don't
next
even know what
mainline
they
game,
how the
which will
mainline
be the
game story is
topic of
so
my
messed up
next
after
report,
5 and Infinite
all
that
seem to be in
I don't know what they're
development.
doing with that.
Some of you may be hesitant about
I think they should have changed the
supporting Halo
protagonist,
Studios
left
by
Master
purchasing
Chief
these new
in
games because of
3, maybe the end of
problems with
4.
leadership. but we
had him
must
sort of enter
support
a
the
like kind of
innocent
mentor
developers,
position,
and the only way to make a change
like a sort of
with
Geralt thing.
leadership
Just
is
leave
to
him
be
alone.
vocal towards Microsoft in videos and social media posts. So on my end, I'll
If they
continue
develop a
to
new
share
protagonist,
leadership
maybe in the
reports
past.
until the problems are resolved. Alright, that concludes this report. Thank you all for
Well, thank you. Good video. I'm going to like it. That's great. So they're making a new Halo 2 and 3 apparently as well, which is great news. Now, next thing, there has been some Blood of Dawnwalker news. And I know, Blood of Dawnwalker, aren't we all excited for that? A new dark fantasy game that I'm also very excited about. I have talked briefly, I should mention, with the developers about this. I shouldn't say developers, like the community manager. And there is a lot of interesting stuff coming. And it's great. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. So let's have a look at this. So there is the freeform structure, which is something we have talked about before, and we've been very concerned about the time element, especially with Blood of Dawnwalker, right? Like if it's going to push us into basically like not being able to finish the game, or every part of the game we'd like to, feeling kind of like someone even made a comment recently, which I was considering, which is the FOMO of feeling like I'm missing out, right? But anyway, is it possible to skip everything and beat the game immediately? No, it is absolutely possible to skip everything and beat the game immediately, provided you're skilled enough. That's quite cool. Haven't seen that in a game, really. But especially this sort of game. But much has been made of the free-form structure of dark fantasy vampire role-playing game, The Blood of Dawnwalker, a game that famously has no quest, a main quest, which is interesting, again. It does kind of, though. It has an end goal, I guess. But there's an overarching goal, there you go, yeah, to rescue your family from the evil clutches of vampires or branches before 30 days and 30 nights are out. So you've got basically 60 cycles, of day-night. Collectively. But when you do it, or even if you do it, are decisions entirely left to you. Does this mean that theoretically you can attempt a rescue the moment you leave the prologue area of the game? Absolutely. Does that mean you can drastically reduce a 50-hour game, approximately, which is quite long, to a much, much shorter one? Yes, but one condition, you have to be skilled enough. Yep. So very much so. I assume it'll just be not worth it, though. It'll take forever to do enough damage, right? Says the lead quest designer, Rafael Janowski, when I asked him whether it's possible to cut a corner by assaulting Branches, the lead vampire, immediately. It's possible to miss a lot of content after the prologue. There is nothing stopping you from going straight to Branches' castle and trying to defeat the big bad vampire and his vampire officers. It is difficult, of course, but it is physically possible, and the content is there waiting for the players. The enemies are there waiting for the players. It is absolutely possible to skip everything like all these quests. I kind of like that in a weird way. I think that, like, imagine you get geared up enough and you feel confident enough. You're like, right, you know what? I've got, 15 days left, but I'm just going to go for it, which is quite fun. But if you're skilled enough, I don't know. I didn't personally try it. I'm not exactly sure how difficult that is, but the idea was to make it difficult enough for this not to be a path that we encourage the players to do on their first try, but we're hoping to see this done soon after the release of the game, because with many players out there, many of them are probably skilled enough or patient enough to try and do it, but it is possible. That could be a challenge on stream. Like, beat Branches after the prologue. That's the rule, and just see how long it takes. It might take me, days, but I can't wait to see the speedruns, I told him, to which Janowski replied, yeah, exactly, me too. Again, we did put some thought into making it difficult, but I'm sure if it can be done, it will be done. However, cutting corners like this, of course, comes with the caveat that you'll miss many large... Yeah, that's the only issue. Interesting parts of the game. It may also be harder to assault Branches with his other vampire officers. His lieutenants are of a sort still around. Thinning the entourage is actually where the game starts to resemble beloved Xbox 360 game Crackdown. Never played it, but structurally, as you hunt each lieutenant down in their own fiefdom, so I guess if you go for him when all the lieutenants are there, they're all going to attack you, which is going to be horribly hard. But doing so will raise your infamy and the ire of Branches, through triggering the game's wanted system, which will eventually result in edicts, public decrees being passed against you. These are intended to slow... Yeah, we know about the edict system, that the piss-off system, to slow you down and make life more difficult. Branches can send out bounty hunters, creative director Mateusz Kivis, I don't know, it's hard, told me, or in an extreme version, he can just put the city on the full-on lockdown. Interesting, sort of we've all experienced this. But a flip side of earning infamy is that there will be rebellious people in the valley who will respect you more because of what you're doing, which is really cool. You could be outside the cities, not going in, stuck in the mountains, gaining allies. It's these systems and more that are combining to make the Blood of Dawnwalker a very interesting prospect, as I wrote in a big preview recently after seeing 90 minutes more of the game. The Blood of Dawn Walker will be released on the 3rd of September for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox S and X. That is great. Love that. Favorite action adventure games is The Witcher. I guess it sort of is. Let's whack that in there. It's winning. That's what we want to see. Yeah, I feel like it's exciting. I'm excited to play the game. I think it seems very unique to other games. I don't even know if it is an RPG, but it's like a really unique form of RPG without a main quest line, as they say, with a sort of overarching goal, but loads of stuff you can do as a free player, which is quite interesting. So I feel like the edict system is probably the most interesting part, right? Because you essentially can like annoy Brentius enough and the other commanders. I think if you take out his, well, it depends whose soldiers you decide to take out. But if you take them out, you're going to annoy them more. They're going to come for you personally. Then you can access them. And then it was the whole thing around if you drain a vampire, you can take their powers, which is really cool as well, or Valkyr. And then maybe if you get all of them, Brentius will just start trying to come for you, or you can then just quickly go and deal with him, which I think is a cool prospect as well. I feel like I would want to go for a lieutenant really early to get some like ability, or one of the lieutenants, depending on who has the best ability for me. And then just aim for that and then use that to make everything easier, even if that initial fight and that initial pursuit is quite hard. I think it's probably worth doing something like that instead of going for Brentius immediately. But yeah, very excited about that. Looking forward to the Blood of Dawnwalker. Let's see what comes out again soon. And there was some other stuff about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, not confirming whether it's going to be working on it, but I've talked about this before. And then just a bunch of other random things I thought were interesting. And yeah, I mean, there was something about Fool's Theory, who we know are working on the Witcher remake, but it's apparently they're working on something for CD Projekt Red that's not related to either The Witcher or The Witcher 3, like the original remake or a Witcher 3 thing. It's going to be in Unreal 5. I don't know what it... Some people say it could be an expansion for the 4th game. Could be. Could well be, or they could be lying and it's I don't know, The Witcher 2 remake. I don't know. That would be crazy, just throwing it out there. But I don't know, because they say it's not related to The Witcher or The Witcher 3, but then it could be an expansion for 4. What if it's a remake for The Witcher 2? What if they want to have this full remastered, like updated graphics of 1, 2, and obviously 3 still holds up incredibly well, so that's kind of unnecessary. But that could be cool. You never know. That was just something I was kind of speculating. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, I feel like it's likely The Witcher 2. No, it's not likely what I'm talking about. It could be something different. It could be something for Cyberpunk. I don't know what they're planning to do with Cyberpunk after the final sort of updates. I have a feeling it would likely be something related to The Witcher unless they're trusting them with other IPs. But for me, like the most logical option would be 2. Because if you've remade The Witcher 1, and you've got The Witcher 3 with the new expansion, and you're releasing The Witcher 4, The Witcher 2 seems like a logical choice for me to work on next as a remake. Like, The Witcher 2 still looks visually pretty impressive and doesn't need that much of a remake. I think the only thing I would say that's an issue with it is the jumping. I always remember, in The Witcher 2, you have to, like, walk up to the wall, and then, like click the jump button, and then it's like awkward animations and stuff, and it's like a little bit like closed off, not very open world. I'd love to be able to explore the forest in Flotsam more in The Witcher 2. I'd love to be able to just everywhere. I think there's so many locations you go in that game, like, Vergen and Henselt's camp and everything like that, that it would be cool if it was a little bit more open. I think that regardless of which side you should choose, maybe there's a cool kind of way you could like explore both sides. So like Geralt can like do stuff obviously in Vogue and be on Saskia's side, but also as a sort of a neutral middle part, possibly go and visit the camp under sort of a guise or something, or just do it in like free roam, you know what I mean, the sort of Witcher 3 style. And I think that would be great. If they wanted to remake The Witcher 2, I wish they sort of expanded a bit, basically, more than anything else. And also, I'd love like a playable section as the School of Viper more, where you can like see like kind of a prequel where you get to play their whole story too, and maybe incorporate Yennefer and stuff, and have Letho getting sent off to deal with the kings and everything, and it'd be cool to be able to play as Letho a bit there too. Honestly, if they're like, we're remaking The Witcher 2, and now it's all from Letho's perspective, that would be such a cool move. I would love that. If that's what they did, I think most fans would just be like, you know what? I'll take it. I'd rather Geralt, but that's That's a pretty... Or just have half the game as Letho instead. Have like a dual protagonist game where you're switching every couple missions with your own like loadouts on each character and whatever you've decided to do. That would be awesome, as long as the story beats are basically the same. And then you can decide at the end if you want to kill him, you know, which should be interesting. But yeah, that would be cool. Maybe they're working on that. Who knows? It's very hard to know exactly what it will end up being. But then there was some mention as well of GTA 6 news. I'm not sure if Haha is still here to discuss that, but if not, we can talk about that another time, or I can just simply try and find it. Let me have a brief look. So what was it, GTA 6? Maybe there's something. It's about not being on PC, isn't it? I did see this online. So yeah, it's being delayed on purpose. Yeah, I know. It's obviously being delayed on purpose. Bloomberg. I can open it up on Bloomberg. Ah, you've sent it there. 2 articles on here. I'll have a look. I'm going to load up Twitch, just so I can open it easily. Okay, let's go over here. Right, here we go. So you said there's 2 articles on here. So let's have a look at GTA. Rockstar Games, okay, GTA. And you said there's one more. Okay, let's have a look. Is it to do with it releasing twice? I can say before even reading this, it was exactly the same as GTA 5, which was not necessarily their plan, because I think they just wanted to release it on console because, you know, PC wasn't as big at the time. But I think that they're simply going to release it twice because it will make them double the money. Because GTA is probably going to be one of the biggest. GTA 6 is probably going to be one of the biggest. Sorry, I talk a lot and I don't have enough water, but probably going to be one of the biggest releases of all time. If it releases on console first, people will probably buy a console just to play it. Yeah, from today, yeah, but console PC. And I think it'll go on console, people will buy it just to be able to play it, then they'll buy it again on PC. I think buying an Xbox digital copy could be the way if you want to play it on PC eventually as well. I might need to get some water because my throat is dying. But anyway, yeah, so CEO Strauss Zelnick has explained why there are no plans to release a PC version of Grand Theft Auto 6 on November 19th alongside the PS5 and Xbox XS series version. It's for money. Money is the answer. But he spoke with Bloomberg and explained, so very simply, okay. Rockstar's aim has always been to serve the core consumer with its titles before, and it's money. I don't mean in a bad way, but it's money. Because the core consumer is now PC, basically, for everything. GTA especially, I'm pretty sure, surely the majority are on PC now. If not, I'd be quite surprised. Maybe PS5 is still pretty high, or console. But core consumer, it's certainly PC is within that group. But Rockstar always starts on console because I think with regard to a release like that, you're judged by serving the core. I'm gonna have to get some water. Hang on, I'm gonna have to cut the video. I'm gonna die. Hang on. Sorry about that. My throat was disintegrating. But, yeah, sorry. Serving the core consumer. Asked whether the game had a console exclusivity period as a result of any marketing deals with Sony, Zelnick said this wasn't the case. No, I mean, historically, Rockstar's gone to console first. Yeah, it has, but, like, historically means, like, in the past 10 years, right? Because they only released the one game. But, well, I guess also Red Dead. True, they did do that with Red Dead. But as Zelnick says, Rockstar, yeah, it does, but, like, it's because of money. You know, but they can't say that, of course. GTA 5 was released on PS3, yep, and then Xbox, yep, and then PC. It released 3 times. I mean, Skyrim's still winning, though. But, yeah, GTA 4 came to PC 8 months after console. LA Noire came 6 months later. Red Dead 2, 13-month gap between console and PC release, yeah. Largest gap, however, was original Red Dead, which arrived on PC in 2024. I didn't even know it was on PC now. I know they did some sort of remaster, so that would make sense. But basically, I can tell you, it's money. You can release the game 2 times, they know people will buy it 2 times, and therefore they get double the money. I mean, it's simple. I feel like that's pretty clear, right? It's nothing to do with the core audience. I mean that in the nice way possible. I'm not maybe partially, but it's because you can release it twice and get double the money. But anyway, Rockstar should raise GTA 6's price for good of the entire industry. No, they should not. It's previously been speculated that GTA 6 could retail for more than $70. Rockstar should raise the price of GTA 6 to $80 for the benefit of the entire games industry. I don't know about that. But as blockbuster video games continue to become more expensive to make, security stock analyst Omar Dasuki argues that selling the much-anticipated GTA sequel for the now standard $70 price could negatively impact other games looking to raise their own prices to become more sustainable. I think the reason game budgets are so high is for a similar reason that film budgets are so high, and it's that there is a significant inefficiency with what they're doing because it doesn't need to be that high, and games don't need to be as like incredible as they're trying to make it. Obviously, we want better games, but at the same time, I think people would take a bit of a hit to have a affordable game than put like $2 billion into the game, you know? I don't even know what that goes on, like to that extreme degree, you know, unless people are being just paid too much. But as pointed out in a note published by Bank of America around the recent Lycan event, I thought that was like a typo, Lycan event in Las Vegas, Take-Two executives did not endorse an $80 price tag, but noted that considering inflation, the price of video games has fallen over time. We also heard from attendees that the industry, which is perceived as struggling, which would have difficulty selling games for $80 if GTA 6 came out at $70. We think it's Take-Two's self-interest as a publisher and partner to make many developers to raise the price point. I completely disagree. But I'm not an analyst of this. I just think that they're basing this off the amount the game costs to make. But I think they will appeal to more customers by selling it for a lower price. And also just like, you know, I don't agree with the budgets as they are. And I think validating having these sort of crazy budgets for games is crazy. And also the GTA 6 budget is way higher than like the budgets for these other games, you know? Like the most in the world. Anyway, if they can afford to sell it at 70 and be profitable, I think that other studios surely can, because their budgets are way lower. And yeah, I would just say, to make it affordable, I would just say everyone else keep your games at 70, but don't release at the same time as GTA 6. And if you can't make it profitable at that price, maybe they're selling up with your studio and you need to assess what you're spending your budgets on, because it should be. And I think that I don't know enough about it, but that's just my initial instinct. I think that you can raise, and of course, they can raise prices if they want to, and that's what's going to make them profitable, but it doesn't mean consumers are going to buy it. And I think GTA 6 saying this is a price we can afford to do it at, they shouldn't artificially raise the price for sure, simply for the fact that like then it will allow other developers with mismanagement to then also raise their prices. If they want to raise the prices because they can't afford to have the price that low, then that's up to them, but I don't think it's up to Rockstar to do that. Anyway, Michael Patcher, the managing director of equity research at Wedbush Securities, later wrote, "We think the company has plans to sell the game at a previously unheard of price point and suspect that management can offer consumers an incentive to pay $100 or more per unit. No, rewarding them with a large amount of in-game currency." Yeah, that could work yet again. There can be a version of the game that gives you, like, let's say £100 of GTA currency or $100 of GTA currency for like an extra, however much that is, $30 of the actual game, which is different because you're actually then getting something. I still don't really agree with that. It puts people in a position of advantage by basically paying money, but at the same time, I'd rather that than all the games just be $100 with free cash. But notably, Rockstar's parent Take-Two was the first major publisher to raise prices to 70 at the start of the current console generation, a stance that many other publishers soon followed on PS5 and Xbox. Speaking at Lycan, Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick addressed the issue of GTA 6 price points, saying, "Consumers pay for the value that you bring to them, and our job is to charge way, way less of the value delivery." Yeah, I agree. Because they make enough money off shark cards. They make enough money off just like the promotions of the game, just people coming back to it, the amount of YouTube stuff that comes out from it that then perpetuates that other people to buy more. Minecraft is still pretty cheap, isn't it? But, you know, that game is so successful because so many people can play it and because it's so popular, and GTA 6 is going to be exactly the same. But how you feel about something you buy is the intersection of the thing itself and what you pay for. Consumers need to feel like the thing is amazing and the price they were charged was fair. Yeah, exactly. If I had to pay $100 for GTA 6, I'm going to be honest, I probably wouldn't buy it. I would have to wait a bit of time to buy it. That's just too high for me to pay for a game that, like, I'm interested in GTA 6, but I'm not like, oh god, when is it going to come out? I'm just like, I'd play it, sure. But I'm not paying, like, almost double the amount of, like, another comparable game to me, to a game that I like, for something that I'm probably going to play, but not, like, too extremely. I think everyone's different, though. But for the fans, of course, if it was like the new Witcher game, I would do that. I would feel a bit like that's expensive, but I would. I think it's all about how people feel. You know, if they feel this is too much, I think they're not going to get it. So that's my perspective on it. I'm not saying I'm objectively right. I just feel like encouraging a company to raise prices for the sake of the industry is, like, weird. I think it should be up to each developer to decide how much they should sell their game for, even if there is a standard they have to conform to. And if they can't conform to the standard, maybe they shouldn't be making the game. But a lot of people may get it no matter what, though. You're right. A lot of people will, because they just want to get it, right? Even if it is $100. But I think the people that will, I think a lot of people also won't get it if it was that high. That's my opinion. I think a lot of people will, but I think even more wouldn't. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like the amount you're going to lose by raising it by another $30 could be significant enough that actually, like, they make less money overall. I do think so, because once you've made the game and once you've, like, got it on a server to download, basically, they're basically, it's not going to cost them that much money to allow them to download the files, right, from server space, etc. So it makes more sense to have, like, a high price cap, but not, like, too high, because you want enough people to buy the game. And I have a feeling 100. My instinct is that is far too high for a lot of people. Or they would, or at least they would plan to buy it, but they would wait for it to be on some kind of deal or some kind of discount. I think even if they really want it, they might think, oh, that's quite high. It'll probably go down because that's too high. So it depends how much they're willing to get that initial group of people paying that amount. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. I think that people will certainly be willing to pay it, but other people will just think, I'll just wait. I want to play it a lot, but it's going to go down. That's too high. That's my opinion. And I think if other developers start charging $100 as the standard for games, I think indie developers would just start, like, selling more games because they have lower studios with lower overhead, and therefore people are going to gravitate more towards those games unless it's for the few games they're really into, you know what I mean? Like, I think it would mean you would be less willing to try other AAA games that you're not that interested in. You know, like, if God of War came out, when it did, and it was, like, you know, $100, let's say, I don't think it would have been as popular as it ended up being, because it was a popular franchise. Of course it was popular, but not to the extent it got after God of War 4 came out. And I think that having it be exclusive on PlayStation, all the rest, and having it not be crazy expensive probably contributed to that, because more people were willing to try it. Like, oh, there's this cool game about a Greek god in sort of Norse mythology. Oh, how much is it? Oh, it's all right. I feel like if it was so expensive, they'd be like, I don't know if I want to pay that much, you know? Maybe. I don't know, that's just my... It's very hard to predict these things, and I could be completely wrong, but that's just my kind of initial instinct when I hear that kind of level of pricing. And I also don't think it's up to GTA to decide the gaming industry standards. I think that's, like, a crazy responsibility to put on, like, one developer, no matter how popular they are, because it doesn't even mean other developers will follow at all. It might give them some impetus to do so, but I don't think so. And they want to make as much money as possible, and I feel like they make more by charging, like, just enough that they kind of, it's profitable for them, and then more people get it. Need to leave now. No problem, haha. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I do appreciate it. I might stop today's stream. I was gonna do some game stuff, but I think I've left it slightly late today, and I do have some stuff to sort out. But I'm very happy to just talk about this stuff. I think sometimes it's nice to do a stream where I just discuss what's been going on. It is quite interesting. I'll try and just get straight into maybe Assassin's Creed 3 tomorrow. That's my feeling. And I'll try and do some more stuff soon. But thank you for watching today's stream, guys. I have really enjoyed it. It's been a fun one. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. So thank you for watching, everyone. I'll see you later.